Hi guys, it's Pastor Martha. I want to say hello and I want to thank you for your work at the church. I know that you guys have been working throughout the day, several of you, and throughout this week at the church, helping us get some very important things done. And I want to say thank you so much for that. It means the world to us that we have not only your love and support, but also your time and your presence and your action. When you say that you love God and you express that, and you say that you love Lilo or me or the church, and you express that and you also show it, it fills our hearts so much. So thank you so much to you guys that have been helping Lilo and Juan clean up and pick up and move and just get things there in order. I heard that you guys were looking forward to me being there tonight because you wanted to show me the work that you did in the Wesley Hall Library, and I can't wait to see it. I was looking forward to being there tonight. As a matter of fact, I was trying to do everything in my power to be there tonight because I knew that the majority, if not every one of you, was going to be there tonight because it's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and you guys are off from school. Some of you are off from work and don't have work or school tomorrow, so you can be there tonight and be there 100%, and not have to worry about work or school or stressors, of the next day because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So I was looking forward to being there with y'all tonight and enjoying tonight, and above everything, being at practice. But as you know, my mom unfortunately fell ill on Sunday. She did start to have a heart attack, was having one, but I'm thankful before God that we were able to rush her to the hospital in time for them to intervene and begin to stop it from going any further or getting any worse. She did have to have surgery because one of her arteries was blocked 95 to 99%. That was a lot. She was literally her heart was literally just pumping on a thread. It was really quite significant. We got pictures from before and after her surgery. So I thank God that God was with us and led me to call the ambulance on Sunday, and we took her to the hospital, and she is okay now. She got to come home. She's recovering. She's still not 100%. I'm taking care of her tonight, and lo and behold, would you know it, she only wants me to take care of her. I mean, she loves all my brothers and sisters, but I am kind of a little bit her favorite, one of her favorites, if not her favorite. Don't tell my brothers and sisters I said that. But I'm taking care of her. I'm dressing her surgery wound, and then I'm also just keeping an eye out on her and trying to figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. Okay, so my sister just called. But like I said, we're trying to figure out what we're going to do tomorrow, and have a switch up in our Thanksgiving plans because of my mom's recovery. But it'll be a good Thanksgiving because Mom is here, and because we're still going to be able to do some of what we had planned and be together. So the reason why I wanted to send this video is because I think that last week when I was at practice, we got off to a really, really good start with me working with you guys for the next 6 months, if not 8 months or so. And I don't want us to lose momentum. That was another reason why I wanted to be there tonight at the practice, was so that we wouldn't lose momentum. But what I want to say about tonight is really follow Eliana's instruction. Me and her are talking closely, we're planning closely, we're working together closely to continue to improve upon the praise and worship team, what we have built. And so I want to thank each of you for your love again, for your desire to be a part of the praise and worship team, and for the work and the time and your presence that you're putting in and that you're bringing every Wednesday. And in the future, in the new year, we will be practicing Sundays after church, and I'll let Eliana tell you more about that. But just again, for your commitment to the praise and worship team in wanting to be better. So tonight, the reminders I have are the voices. I'm going to be a stickler for, and you probably noticed this last Sunday, for during worship, there is a time to really get in and be using your voice, especially on the alabanzas, por siempre Dios es fuerte, por siempre Dios es fiel, right? You can use, that really active and strong declaration that por siempre Dios es fiel. But then there's times in the worship, in the slower songs, where we're singing, derrama tu espíritu, right? And the voice and the pitch and the sound and the way that you project your voice has to change. And then there's times at the end of the song where the Spirit wants to take over, and we're not the Holy Spirit. Our voice is not the Holy Spirit. It can be filled with the Holy Spirit. We can be filled with the Holy Spirit, but we're not responsible for bringing the Holy Spirit into the church. God is already there. Our job as a praise and worship team is to facilitate the praise and worship for God's people, to usher in the presence of the Holy Spirit, to welcome it and to allow it to flow. So I'm going to be a stickler for the following. Toward the end of the worship songs, there's a time where the Spirit, that still small voice that Elijah heard in Ezekiel, in the book of Ezekiel, he searched for God in the wind, he searched for God out in the storm, he searched for God in the mountain, he searched for God in all these big grand places. And you know where God spoke to him? In the whisper, in a still small voice. That's where God chose to speak to Elijah and move. So I'm a stickler for when I say, or when we get to the end of a song and we're about to enter into the sermon or into the palabra, and God's presence is already flowing in the church, for us to sing with our worship voices. Derrama tu espíritu y que tu luz brille. See? So Lilo and I will be working more on that in the coming weeks, but I wanted to say something about it tonight, because you'll hear Lilo start to really encourage you to pay attention to the moments of a song where a song, whether it's praise or worship, is going to pick up. So it's picking up in pace, and so therefore you can bring in your voice, and the drums begin to pick up, and the bass and the piano and all the instruments. But then there's times in a song where it starts to come down as we start to end the song, or as we start to go into worship, and we have to be sensitive to those changes that happen, not only musically, but in the realm of the Spirit, that happen while the Spirit is moving in the service. So it's important to be connected to the Spirit of God as a praise and worship team. And the Spirit of God allows you to be sensitive to the way that the Spirit is moving. It opens your ears, it opens your eyes, it opens your mind, it opens your heart to know how the Spirit is moving, and to know how the praise and worship needs to be flowing. And the key person to be looking at that point, the key person to be following at that point, is your worship leader. That's why there is a worship leader. That's why there is a praise and worship team director, because that person not only is having conversation with God, but conversation with the pastor. That person is not only working in a team with you, but is working in a team with God and the pastor, and knows the flow and movement and rhythm and dynamic of the worship. So I want to say that tonight. Please be receptive. Please be open minds, open spirits, open hearts to receive direction from your praise and worship team director and from me. Do so with Eliana as if I were there tonight. And you will see, for those of you that have wanted to see the praise and worship team move into the next level, you will see us move in to that next level if we can be sensitive to the Spirit of God, sensitive to the Spirit of God. The other thing I want to for us to keep in mind is that in the coming weeks, I will be wanting to hear each of you sing individually. I'll be grouping you per your voices, whether you're a male vocal or a female vocalist. I will be pairing you within your group, whether you are an alto, a soprano, a tenor, or a baritone in your voice. We will start to learn how to do melodies with our voices, how to do primera, segunda, tercera, and when to come in and how to come in, and again, when to restrain our voice or change the dynamic in our voice when it comes to the worship part of praise and worship. So that's what I wanted to say tonight. I love you guys. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for watching this video. And I hope you guys have a blessed practice. I miss not being there and being able to elaborate more on this and to just sit through the practice with you and watch you and coach you, because really that's what I'm doing. And so I miss not being there, but I look forward to being there next week. And I know that Eliana will do a good job. Eliana, remember to lead. Remember, we're going to be talking with Bob about the sound too. We need to regulate the choir versus your voice, and once we have all the vocals where they need to be and arranged, once we've made those arrangements, also continue to make arrangements with the sound and work with Bob. So remember to project your voice as leader. Everything else you've learned from me, you've learned from the best. And you guys are too. So worship is one of those things that I am passionate about. I love it, and I want to share what I have come not only to know and learn myself over years and over experience and over being receptive to other people that came before me, but also receptive to God's Spirit and the way that God is moving and the call that God has placed upon my life, and to be able to share it with you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for allowing me to do so, and I will see you guys this Sunday, and then Lord willing, and see you next Wednesday at practice. Remember, Charge Conference is this Sunday. Come out and support your pastor, support your leadership, and come out and represent who Elmwood Buen Samaritano is in our district and in our conference. Love you guys. Bye.